Hello, everyone. I'm Justin.
And I'm Marcella.
And this is Sailor Manga, the podcast where we take a deep dive into the iconic Sailor Moon manga by Naoko Takeuchi and discuss it to our heart's content. Happy Moon Day, Marcella. How the hell are ya?
Happy Moon Day. Actually, I'm so much better. I'm already smiling because I'm getting
Oh,
that
yay!
Sailor Moon serotonin that we talk about.
Yes, same, because Marcella and I have not had the greatest of days, and we needed
No.
some Sailor Moon serotonin to lift us up. So we are looking forward to this next hour or so where we're going to be recording the podcast.
Yeah,
So nice, but
we need it.
we do need it. But today we are reading Act 13. I cannot believe we're already on Act 13. Absolutely
right?
baffling. But this is Act 13, Final Battle Reincarnation. But before we read it, as always, we got to settle some moon news. So Marcella, do you have any moon news for us this week?
I've only got one piece.
Okay.
I think. Was it just the
All right.
one? I'm sure it will come back to me if there's more. But my one bit of moon news is I'm currently drinking water.
Ooh, water.
Out of my moon mug.
Nice. Wait, your moon. Wait. I totally glossed over it. Wait. I'm sorry. Did you say your moon mug?
I did.
When did you get it?
It arrived yesterday.
Oh my god. Finally, we put to bed the moon mug saga.
I was so excited. And I was about to message you, and then I thought, no, I'm going to save it. The big reveal.
Yes. Well, fucking dear God, it's been a long time.
How long? It's been, what, 6 years?
It feels like it. Because, God, I'm trying to think back to what episode. God, was it episode 4 we were doing?
So. I was still in my 30s. I know that. Yeah, I think it was episode. It was really early on. Early on.
It was. Well, I'm just so glad that you finally have it. Holy shit.
Yeah. It was really sweet because I was upstairs and the parcel had obviously arrived and I wasn't aware. And Paul sent me, what was I doing? But Paul had said, I think he'd popped back to work and he just sent me a message saying, by the way, there's a piece of moon news at the top of the stairs for you, which was so sweet.
I love that.
I know. And I was just like, no. And I ran and got the parcel. And on the side of the box was a picture of a mug, but not, not the moon mug, just a mug.
A mug, yeah.
And I just thought, I'm not going to believe it until I actually open it. And there she was.
Right. I wouldn't either.
And yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you have it. Dear God. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. I tell you, I was half tempted to just launch it into space and rage.
Seriously.
Shatter it into a million pieces. Like,
oh my God.
Putting me through this.
Thanks, Redbubble.
Yeah. Note to self, never order from Redbubble again. Except because I'm
we totally will. We love Redbubble.
Oh my God, I'm such a slut for Redbubble.
I was literally on Redbubble today looking for a Sailor Moon sticker to put on my phone.
Never not on Redbubble.
Yeah, same.
My God.
Oh,
anyway, that's mine. What's yours?
Yeah. My moon news, I don't have a whole lot. I've only watched like 2 new episodes, like they come out weekly, episodes of Sailor Moon since the last time we recorded. I watched the episode where Makoto is a really good ice skater.
Yeah.
And I watched the episode with Minako's backstory, like her Sailor V backstory.
Oh.
Which I had never seen before because I think that was one of the ones that was cut during the Deke dub.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if it's similar to what the comic would be like.
Yeah, I was watching it and I was like, yeah, I wonder if there's going to be some like, even though we haven't read Codename Sailor V yet, if there's going to be some things that I notice again. But yeah, and my other bit of moon news, I don't know if you've seen this because I didn't mention it to you. I thought I would just pop a little surprise on you. We did get another listener email.
No.
But hold on. Don't get too hype. I mean, we love this person. We know this person. This is one of our Discord friends.
Oh.
is from Sonia.
Sonia.
Yeah, so shout out to Sonia. Thank you so much for reaching out. We love and adore you.
Yes, we do.
But Sonia's email says, "Hey there, I couldn't resist dropping a quick line after y'all literally said my name in episode 9. I'm loving this podcast. You two are so easy to listen and relate to and so funny. I've never had any sort of interest in anime or the sort, but I have to admit I'm getting more and more drawn in each episode. Thank you guys for providing me with entertaining, relaxing content to push me through my work mornings. Keep up good work. Lots of love, Sonia."
Thanks, Sonia.
Thank you, Sonia. Sonia's one of our really close friends in our Discord group. So I think I saw it while I was me and Alan were out of town this weekend for the listeners. But I think I saw it while I was on my trip and I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I star it. And then I meant to tell you, but I just totally forgot because, you know, all the shenanigans that were going on. I was at a wedding this weekend, so it was just a lot of shuffling around.
Yeah.
And
usually I pop in to check now and again, but I haven't done for a few days, so it's a lovely surprise.
Yeah, so I thought that'd be a nice little surprise.
Listening as well. Although of course she is. I wouldn't expect anything like that.
Yeah, it's really nice. Someone who's like not at all interested in Sailor Moon, like enjoying the podcast. And that just goes for every listener. Like you don't have to have any interest in Sailor Moon to enjoy this podcast.
Yeah.
Marcella and I are enjoyment enough.
I'm glad I'm not just the only person who finds myself funny as well. Usually it's just me laughing at my own jokes, but I'm like, okay, cool. Other people think I'm funny too.
Well, considering the fact that on, what was it, episode 5, I'm calling the police, you literally had me, like my back was blown out. I was laughing so fucking hard. So
that's 3 of us then. That's good.
But yeah, that's all I got for Moon News. So
Sonia's a vital part of our Dead by Daylight crew as well.
Oh, she is. She is. Like when we do our Dead by Daylight sessions, we all get in the voice chat together. Me, Alan, Sonia, and Marcella, and we always have a good time. So
we do.
It's always a good time. But like I said before, today we are reading and discussing Act 13, Final Battle Reincarnation. And for a little recap from the last episode, you remember Sailor Moon slashed Endymion in the chest, and then she took the sword upon herself, and that's where we left off.
Yeah.
So we flip open to this beautiful color page, which is in a weird, like, peachy tone of Princess Serenity. And it's just her saying, "Endymion, I love you. You are my first love, my only love. If I'm ever reborn, I know I'll find you again. I know that someday we will fall in love again." And then we flip to the chapter page, which is a 2-page spread. Absolutely gorgeous. The first page is Endymion and Serenity embracing each other with like a lavender sky with a crescent moon in the background.
Nicholas Sparks, isn't it? Like white people almost kissing.
White people almost kissing. Damn it. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, they're also underneath some columns, assumingly the Moon Kingdom columns.
Yeah.
And then on the second page, we have Serenity and Endymion again, and the silver crystal is floating inside or in between Serenity's hands. And I just want to note this cane that Endymion is holding.
Oh, I know.
Because it looks like a normal cane, but the head of the cane is a very detailed, very grave looking skull. And I just adore it to pieces.
Yeah, I need one.
Yeah, same. I'll take one in every color.
Yeah.
Ooh, can we get like a purple one? Ooh, a purple to black gradient one? Ooh, I would love it.
You get one. I'll get green to black.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah, it's very dark Jupiter. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so then we cut to the black and white again, and we're treated with the image of Sailor Moon impaling herself on the sword as the word Endymion scrawls across the page, and we get cutaways to Venus and Mercury looking shocked and appalled.
Yeah.
And then we cut to this awesome panel, full page panel of it's got Mamo's pocket watch in the background with a bunch of clockwork shit in the background. An image of both of them falling to the floor after being slashed by the sword. Mamoru's face, and then Usagi's face in the corner. And it says, "We will cross through time and be reborn, and this time we will find happiness in Demian." So sweet. So this is gonna, just to prepare you listeners, this is gonna be the As the World Turns episode chapter in the manga, as the moon turns, if it will. Because we're getting lots of emotion and a little bit of flashbacks to move the plot along. That's what's going to be happening in this episode.
Come with us.
Come with us on this journey. So then we get this panel of, I'm assuming this is Venus.
Yeah.
Judging by the next page, I'm assuming it's Venus. And she says, "Your Highness, no, we weren't given new lives just to see this happen." And then she's thinking, is this fate unavoidable? So then the moon sword clatters to the ground, and we see this devastating image of Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask on the floor, bleeding to death. There's blood all over the ground. And there's another "no" scream, presumably from Venus again.
Yeah.
And then she's continually thinking to herself, are we doomed to repeat what happened in the past? And then Mamoru's chest starts to glow, and a piece of the silver crystal, the piece that's been stuck inside of his chest for the past, 2 chapters at least, starts to come out of his chest. And Luna pops in and she says, "The mystical silver crystal, it's becoming whole again." So the silver crystal combines with the other, the little shard from Mamoru combines with the regular crystal, and it starts to emit this crazy fucking light. And then the crystal starts to grow until both Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask's bodies are encased in the crystal. Like, that's how big it grows.
Yeah. Huge.
And the girls are shook.
Yeah.
And then we get Jupiter. She says, "Is that possible? The mystical silver crystal is growing around them." And we get all these paking, like little shinies about the crystal. And then Mars says, right? That's Mars, right? The hair looks long enough to be Mars.
Yeah, I think it is. I thought it was Ami, actually, but no, I think you're right.
Same. I thought it was Ami too, but it's definitely Mars. And she says, "No, we can't let the silver crystal grow now." And then there's a rumbling. We get this cool shot of the Dark Kingdom columns and everything, and all the girls, and the newly entombed crystal. And everything starts to shake. The ground starts to shake around them, and then Metalia comes from the depths of the Dark Kingdom, and she starts to rise into the what would you call this? The lobby of the Dark Kingdom?
The chamber?
The chamber. Perfect. The main chamber of the Dark Kingdom. Perfect. And they scream, "Queen Metalia!" And then we get Queen Metalia saying, "Quiet on set energy." George, roll the tape.
Oh, yeah.
"Ah, that brilliant glow, that energy, that power is filling my empire of darkness with light. Now, at last, I can move with complete freedom, and this time, everything will be mine."
And cut. Thank you. So then Luna screams, "Girls, watch out." And as she's running along, she thinking to herself, "No, it's going to swallow them all up." And then I even looked up on Google to explain this scene to me. Didn't get a clear answer. Maybe you can help me out. This panel of Artemis and Luna, like, glowing?
Yeah.
Like, what exactly is going on there? Because I flipped ahead and it's like Luna is still there, but like Artemis isn't?
Well, is it Artemis? Or is it just Luna lighting up?
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that, because clearly Artemis wasn't there.
Because she's throwing herself in front of the light, so maybe that's made her.
That makes more sense to me. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay, we're gonna go with that. So Luna steps in front of the light. She's trying to protect the girls.
Yeah.
And we see the girls getting slammed backwards behind Luna. And then we cut to inside the silver crystal, right? Or no. Metalia swallows up the silver crystal, which of course inside of it is Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask. So Metalia swallows them up. And who is who is this? Is this Venus? Or is that Jupiter that said they're gone? Queen Metalia swallowed them up. That's Venus? Okay. So Venus says they're gone. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, I was like, is that a ponytail? Is it not? There's not enough differentiation to check. But anyway, we're just going to go Venus. Says they're gone. Queen Metalia swallowed them up. Luna's screaming Princess Serenity. And then she gets a flashback to when Queen Serenity said, Luna, I want you to watch her always. No matter how much time passes or how different she may appear, she will always be your one and only princess. And we get this cool image of Princess Serenity being really happy and Usagi being really happy, like mirror images.
Yeah.
I love when Naoko does that shit.
Yeah.
So the girls cry for Luna, but Luna's doing some self inner turmoil, and she's thinking, I couldn't keep her safe. The girl I care about more than anyone, Usagi. But there's not enough time for inner turmoil, girl, because the Dark Kingdom starts to crash around them. There's all kinds of rumbles, clatters. The place is crumbling before their feet. And Queen Metalia starts to grow even more. And Queen Metalia says, there we go. And so they scream Queen Metalia, and then Mars says, no, it's going up to the surface. And Jupiter says, we have to go after her. So they go after her, they go up to the surface, and they say, what is this place? And because we see this scene, they're at the North Pole, so everything was like snowy and icy and foggy and shit. And now it's all beautiful. It was gorgeous. And now it's all like blank, stale, rocky terrain.
I know, it's like the sun came out and ruined everything.
Oh my God, literally, the sun ruins everything. We just want cold, maybe a little damp, overcast. Oh God, that sounds so good. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting carried away. So Venus says, where did this rocky plain come from? We're supposed to be at the North Pole. And she's thinking, a cold sea of megaliths, like a stone cemetery. It looks just like the ruins of the Silver Millennium. And we get this flashback panel of the ruins.
Yeah.
And then we get another Queen Metalia. God, I'm earning my paycheck today. Okay. Queen Metalia says,
locked away by the Queen of the Moon Kingdom, I waited patiently deep beneath the Earth's surface. Eons I waited, but I have been revived. The power of the mystical silver crystal swells within me, and now at last, everything on this planet will be mine.
And cut. Okay.
She's huge now as well. Look at her.
She is massive. I mean, she's like 10-story building type tall. Like, she's fucking huge. And she's just a smoky, like, terrifying face at this point.
Yeah.
So Jupiter says, it's a monster. And Ami says, it took the silver crystal inside itself. Is that how it got to be this big? And Venus is done with this bullshit. She's had enough. She's hitting the bullshit button. She growls to herself, which I just love.
Oh, yeah.
And then she throws up her hand and says, Venus power. And the other three girls are like, so we should do the same thing. Oh, okay.
We're doing this, yeah.
Yeah. So then we get Jupiter power and Mercury power, and then lastly Mars power. And then this is like the second Sailor Planet attack, right?
Yeah, I was thinking
we've definitely got it before.
I'm sure we've had this before, but yeah.
So they say Sailor Planet attack, yeah, and they shove all their energy at Queen Metalia, and Queen Metalia, it just goes into her and ripples like fucking water.
Oh, she's loving it.
Yeah, she says,
all forms of energy give me life. As long as the mystical silver crystal, I am invincible. I won't let anyone stand in my way.
And cut. Not me self-directing. Anyway, so the girls are all shook as usual, and Mercury picks up Luna, and she says Luna is in bad shape. So Luna is fucked, probably from taking that blast. Yeah. So Mercury says, Venus, we need to get her to Artemis. And Venus is like, So then they cut to the Crown Game Center. The girls retreat. They're like, Metalia's way too strong. We gotta bounce.
Yeah, we need to time out.
Yeah. So they go back to the regroup for sure. So they go back to the moon layer as usual, the command center, and Artemis says, you're back. And Mercury says, Artemis, it's Luna. And I love this little panel of Artemis saying Luna, and he's like crouching next to her, and Luna's got the little huff next to her. You can tell she's real hurt.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the leader, Venus, and she says, Queen Metalia has broken free. She's filling the airspace above D Point, and she's still growing. She swallowed them up. Princess Serenity, Prince Endymion, and the silver crystal that encased them both. Queen Metalia swallowed them all. And Artemis says, and that power is what's causing Metalia to grow? And then we cut to outside of Juban, there's a bunch of whooshing going on. So I guess just a lot of energy blurring around. And we cut to a newscast that says, unseasonably cold weather is sweeping across the globe. We are in a state of emergency. So I guess that they saw that on one of the monitors in the moon layer. We're just going to go with that.
Yeah. It sounds wonderful, though, doesn't it?
Right. A state of emergency. More like a state of paradise. But Jupiter says, if this keeps up, the whole planet will, and I'll just finish the sentence, freeze. We're just going to go with that. Or be in peace for me and Marcella, because we love the cold.
Oh, yeah, we'll be fine. Sorry to everybody else. But...
Yeah, sorry everyone else, but like, summer, overrated.
Yeah.
So Mars says, are they still all right? Or could Metalia have ... And
there's not a lot of finishing sentences going on.
A lot. Yeah, they're just like, draw your own conclusion books sentences. So Luna, even though she's in her, I want to say dying state just because she's a bitch, but, well, she's not that much of a bitch. Anyway, Luna says, Usagi is alive. The mystical silver crystal should be keeping them both safe. And then we get a determined glance, a panel of Venus and Mercury. And Venus says, we're going back to D Point. We're going to get them back, the princess and the silver crystal.
Yeah.
And then we cut to my least favorite section of this chapter, because in my opinion, it serves absolutely zero purpose.
Yeah.
But we stay, the girls leave, but we stay with Artemis and Luna, and Luna's like still struggling to walk. And Artemis is like, Luna, you need to stop pushing yourself. And we get a flashback to when Dark Mamoru shoved Luna across the room, and she like was really fucking hurt and shit before Sailor Moon did healing escalation and helped her a little bit, but clearly not enough. And Artemis says, Tuxedo Mask hurt you badly enough. Look how much worse you've made it. And she says, Artemis, it's all my fault. I couldn't save her. She was going through so much. It kind of is. But how adorable does she look crying in that panel?
She does, yeah. My heart's it's very not really, but it's kind of.
And Luna's thinking to herself, but I made her fight against the man she loves.
Yeah, you did.
100%. I was reading this last night, and I was like, yeah, those are things you did. So, I mean, I guess you should feel a little guilty. But she says, Artemis, take me to the moon. And when I read that, I was like, for what? Like, what are you going to do? So anyway, she's thinking, take me to the Mare Serenitatis, the Sea of Serenity, if you remember correctly from, I believe it was Act 9 episode.
Yeah.
To the Moon Castle's Chamber of Prayer, to where the Sacred Tower of Prayer, the Crystal Tower, once stood. So they do teleport to the moon, because, you know, they can just do that.
Quite easily.
Quite easily. They go to where the stones, or the moon sword was in that slate of stone.
Yeah.
And Luna just goes up to it and says, Your Majesty. And then she's thinking about Queen Serenity. We get this cool little drawing of Queen Serenity. And she's thinking, please come to us just one more time. And then she shouts out loud, Queen Serenity, please unlock the power of the moon so that we can seal Queen Metalia away. That power will help us save them all, won't it? Will it? I will. And this is why I think that this scene is completely useless, is because the last time they were on the moon and they saw the little magical version of Queen Serenity said, I don't have a lot of power left. This is it. Like, here's all the info. So that's why I'm like, if there were more power, don't you think that she would, I don't know, utilize it? I don't know. I'm just like, what was the point?
Unlocking the moon's power thing, I mean, that's not been mentioned before, has it?
Right. Like, what is the moon's fucking power? No, it has not been mentioned. So I'm just like,
the power was in the silver crystal,
which is inside Usagi, or was inside Usagi. So it's just like, what? It just doesn't make any sense. It's a little bit of a plot hole. Maybe it'll connect to something later, but as of right now, it makes no fucking sense. Anyway, Luna says, I will offer the prayer in the princess's palace. Please hear my plea. And then she's thinking, Princess Serenity, Usagi, I won't believe you're dead. You can't be dead. And I think this part is cool, though. Artemis says, look at the earth. Do what?
She just told the girls she wasn't dead.
Yeah, and now she's like, I won't believe you're dead. So it's like,
she was just
putting on a brave face, I guess.
Yeah.
So Artemis looks back at the Earth, and he says it's being covered in a black shadow. It's changing into a planet of darkness, and we see it, and it looks dark as fuck. Like the blue planet is no more. So then we cut to, thank God, we're off the moon, done with these dumbass cats, and so we cut to random spots in Juban, and someone's saying, "Please evacuate in a calm, orderly manner," but just looks like fucking madness.
Where are they evacuating to of the whole planet?
Right, that's what I was thinking. Like, anyway. I did look this up. On the Wiki Moon, it says, let me just read this little part. If I can fucking find it. Oh yeah, back on Earth, Queen Metalia's corruption has spread across the Earth. Buildings fall into ruin, and people are fighting one another.
Wow.
But I thought it said, I could have sworn I read something that said that it started, like the epicenter is Juban.
Right.
So I guess they're just trying to get out of Tokyo? Question mark?
Okay.
I guess that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we cut to these two guys arguing, and one says, "Out of my way," and the other one says, "Say that again."
Harsh words.
Yeah, and then they attack each other. It looks like he has a knife in his fucking hand in that next panel.
Oh
doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it looks like he fucking cut the fucker.
I thought it was a paintbrush, and he's.
You know what? I hope it's a paintbrush, because if not, he cut shit out of him.
Yeah, he either slashed his back, or he's just painting a beautiful Bob Ross style
on his shirt.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, his outfit looks like it's newspaper clippings pasted together and made into a fabric.
It does.
It looks like he's wearing a newspaper suit, honestly.
Oh, it's very, very Reputation era.
It is very Reputation. Oh, so that's why he knifed him in the back, because
he's not a Swiftie.
Knew he was a killer. Knew I was a killer first time that he saw me. So
yeah, there you go.
We tied it all together. Everything comes back to Taylor Swift's Reputation, aka the Bible. So then we do cut to another scene of buildings crumbling around Tokyo. And we cut to this little panel of Queen Metalia, who's even fucking bigger now, coming out of the earth and just like just laughing maniacally.
Loving it.
She is living her best fucking life, or pseudo life, or spirit life, or whatever the fuck she is. Her smoke life. Her smoke life. And so I'm just gonna say Mars. Mars says Queen Metalia is getting even bigger, and Jupiter says, "Is it too late to stop her?" And Venus says, "The mystical silver crystal wouldn't let Metalia absorb it without a fight. It's waiting for the right moment, the perfect time to crush Queen Metalia, and it will keep our princess and Prince Endymion safe until that time comes. We may not have the power to seal Queen Metalia away, but we can give the crystal its chance. We just have to use the greatest, most sacred power we possess, all the metamorphic powers our guardian planets have given us." And we get this really awesome panel of Venus holding up her transformation pen, and I just love that drawing. It just, I don't know, I can just feel the desperation in her eyes somehow. Like, Neko is really good at portraying emotion through the drawing.
Oh, definitely.
She's just a master at that. So Mercury says, "Venus," and Mars says, "You're going to sacrifice your pen?" And Venus is thinking to herself, giving up these pens means giving up our lives.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is fucking serious. And she says, "I've made up my mind." And apparently the other girls have too, because next thing you know, they're putting their pens in like a little circle between each other. And then we get this kick-ass panel of all the girls. They've got their pens in their hands. And in one hand, Venus has her transformation pen, but in the other hand, she has the moon sword. And it looks like it has grown.
Yeah.
It has to be longer than she is tall. Like, it looks gigantic. But she's thinking to herself, "Defender of the princess, sacred sword of light, shine for us once more, pierce the darkness." And then she holds up her pen and says, "Venus power." Jupiter holds up hers and says, "Jupiter power," while she's thinking, "Please."
I'm looking amazing.
Yeah, she looks fucking fire. And then speaking of fire, Mars does the same thing, Mars power. and she thinks, go to our princess. And then Mercury says, Mercury power, while she thinks, we offer you all the power our lives possess. And then we cut back to Venus, and she's thinking, Princess Serenity, Prince Endymion, you can't be dead. And then they throw up their pens, and they say makeup. This awesome fucking shot of all of them throwing up their pens together, and it looks like the sword is even longer now.
Yeah, I was about to, it's covering 2 panels. It's that big.
Yeah, it's covering 2 fucking panels. Like, if that's not the size of the height of Venus plus at least half of one of the other Sailor Guardians, I'd be shocked, because it's fucking huge. But the last thing that I'm gonna say Venus thinks is, wake up, Princess Serenity. They throw up their pens. There's a big surge of energy, and I guess it goes up against Queen Metalia. That's kind of what it looks like. They shove it towards Queen Metalia. The girls get blown fucking back, and it looks like they're on the ground and bleeding. And I was looking this up just to like double check. In the synopsis of this chapter, it says, let me find it. It says they just lose consciousness. However, Queen Metalia says a foolish sacrifice. So, in my opinion, that means they're fucking dead. Because, like I said, they're also bleeding. Like, maybe they're just on the brink of death and they're just like bleeding out. They're not dead yet. That's the only thing I can think of to like tie those two together.
That's what we should go with.
Yeah. Okay. So then Queen Metalia, who is starting to get more of a form now, like she's getting to be as big as like what I imagine the Power Rangers Zords get to be.
Okay.
That's kind of how I'm picturing it in my head. She's starting to grow to that size.
I don't know what that is, but
you don't know Power Rangers?
No. Well, I know them, but
oh, well, you know the Zord. You know how big the Zords are. They like tower just a little bit over like the tallest buildings in the city. That's how big they are.
I'm Googling.
Yeah, Google it real quick.
You need a Google image. Oh, okay. Right, hang on. Here we go. Images.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. I feel like she's bigger.
You think she's bigger than that?
Yeah, I think she's like double Zord.
Oh, shit. Double Zord. Okay, you know what? We're going to go with that. We'll go with that. So, as Queen Metalia is double Zord height, she says, a foolish sacrifice. And then what I think this panel happens is like in the unconsciousness, since that's where we're going with, of the girls, we start to get some like some memories back more to Silver Millennium. Yeah, more flashbacks. As the moon turns, we're going there. So we cut to this panel of Princess Serenity trying to sneak away from the Moon Kingdom, and Venus catching her. And she says, "There you are, Your Highness." She looks pissed as hell. And Serenity's like, damn it, I've been caught. And, and Venus says, are you going off to see that prince again? It's dangerous to go near him. You can't let your curiosity get the better of you. And how fucking cute does Princess Serenity look in that goddamn next panel? Oh my god. And she's blushing a little bit. And she's like, it's not curiosity. And she's like, stupid Venus. You've never even been in love. You never understand how I feel. And she's like sticking her tongue out and wagging her hands at her. And I love this panel because it shows that the Usagi that we've been seeing, like that personality type, was sort of always a part of her. And I think that's really, really important because Princess Serenity is always shown as like very put together and very poised, but that personality that we always see is like, ugh, fucking Usagi. It's like Princess Serenity was always like that too. So it's like it's nice to see that connection, you know?
Yes, definitely. I agree.
So Princess Serenity runs off and Venus is like, Your Highness. And then she says, I have too been in love. And we get a flashback within a flashback.
Yeah.
And Venus is thinking about the time that she had to go down to Earth and reprimand Princess Serenity. And she said, Princess Serenity, you're down here again? Come on, we're going home. And near, I guess, Endymion and Kunzite were nearby.
Yeah.
Because we get this cool image of Venus seeing Endymion and Kunzite. And Kunzite says, It must not be easy to babysit a princess with such an active curiosity. And Endymion's like, Kunzite, like, stay out of it.
Yeah.
And Venus is blushing like crazy. And Mercury is in the background seeing her, and she's like, Venus? And Venus is like, everything's fine, everything's fine. And she's like trying to brush away the blush.
Yeah, she's got it bad.
Yeah, she saw Kunzite, and she was like, I want that white-haired, gorgeous block of wood. That's what I want. And
carve me off a piece of him.
Carve me off a piece. So then we cut back to the flashbacked Venus after Princess Serenity has run off, and she's thinking, I'm worried about her. She watches over the earth, she guards the mystical silver crystal, and one day she'll be queen. I'm afraid that if she falls in love, she'll get hurt. And then we get this cut scene. This is also another flashback within a flashback, and it's Princess Serenity and Endymion. And Endymion's asking, looking out over the ocean with the wind on my face, I feel so at peace. What does our planet look like when you see it from the moon? And we get this picture of Serenity looking adorable, again, with her moon crescent glowing. And she says, it looks like a blue crystal sphere. And then we cut to them at either the Earth Palace or the Moon Kingdom Palace. And she's thinking Endymion as they finally kiss. And we get this image of Endymion and Serenity cuddling up to each other. And she's thinking, I feel so warm when I'm with you. I feel my heart being cleansed. Energy bubbles up inside me. I want to be together forever with you. Like this for eternity. And then
I was going to say something inappropriate, but I'll
I mean, you can say it if you want, but we can also continue if you want.
We'll continue.
This is labeled explicit for a reason. So then Endymion, almost said Mamoru. It's so hard. He has so many damn names.
Oh, I know, right?
Endymion says, over there, what's that black cloud? And in the distance, they see like a black cloud starting to form in the earth. Yeah. And Serenity says, I don't know. One day that darkness appeared out of nowhere, and that forest of monoliths along with it. And it slowly spread over the entire planet. So they're like cuddling, watching the black cloud. And then we cut to when Sage Beryl led the, we'll just say, rebellion against to attack the Moon Kingdom. And then we get the images of Endymion trying to save Princess Serenity from Beryl, and the image of Beryl with her sword raised and Metalia in the background, and then Endymion getting slashed by Beryl. And we get, stop this immediately. War and hatred will never amount to anything from Endymion. And then once he gets slashed, Serenity screams Endymion. We've seen this stuff before.
Yeah.
It's just trying to tie it all together. And then we get the image of Princess Serenity taking the knife the knife. I've got a knife. No, it's a sword. She takes the sword and plunges it into herself as Mercury and Mars say, Princess Serenity. And then Mars says, I had foreseen that this love would end in tragedy. The Earth and the Moon are very different worlds. And then we haven't seen this yet. We see this image of Endymion, Serenity, and all four other guardians on the stairs of the kingdom, of the palace, bleeding out together.
Yeah, just bleeding out. It's tragic.
Just girly things bleeding out. And
where's Luna when all this is happening?
I don't know, she's probably out somewhere, feeling guilty, or she's out somewhere getting punted like a football like she deserves. That's what I imagine. And we get their love could never really blossomed. And then we get this awesome image of Queen Serenity with her long flowing hair. It's not no dongos like it usually is. And she says, I will seal it away. I will banish that devil, talking about this image of Queen Metalia.
Yeah.
And then she says, in the moon too, I will seal it all away and entrust the future to you. So just to pause on this real quick, when she says, I will seal it away and the moon too, this has to be referencing to Luna being like, unleash the power of the moon, because she says, I will seal the moon away too. So I don't know exactly what power she's talking about, but you think that the magical image of Queen Serenity that we saw before would have explained that. But I guess she took a note out of Luna's book and she's like, they don't need to know right now. We'll wait till they're really desperate and we'll let it all out.
Till they're, exactly. We'll wait until they're on the brink
of death. Yeah. So then do we cut to Sailor Moon? her memories. Yeah, I think that's what we're cutting to.
Yeah.
So we cut to Sailor Moon's memories, and she's thinking, Endymion, I know we'll find new life on the same planet and have our happily ever after. And we see this image of I guess the first time that Usagi and Mamoru met.
The bunhead moment.
The bunhead moment with the 30 test, yeah. And then we cut to this panel of her holding out the silver crystal, and she's thinking, I'll hold the mystical silver crystal softly to my breast. We'll protect it together. This time we will find happiness. Very cute. And
fated.
so it's written in the stars, if you will. And so then we cut to really Sailor Moon. She wakes up and she's surrounded by darkness. And she's thinking, where am I? It's so dark. Am I alive? Am I dreaming? And then the silver crystal starts to glow. And then we get to see, her face, her moon crescent is glowing. And she's like, the mystical silver crystal. And then it brightens enough for her to see a tuxedo mask. But she says, Endymion. And she reaches to her chest and she says, I stabbed myself in the chest. Why aren't I hurt? And then she opens up her hand and it's Mamo's pocket watch. And she says it's falling apart. Did it block the sword? Which also, we saw a lot of blood, so I don't know how much it blocked it, but that's what they're going with. So we're gonna just drive along. And she's like, no, am I alone? Am I the only one who survived? And her tears fall on the silver crystal, and the silver crystal transforms into like a lotus form. It looks like a lotus flower.
Yes.
It looks absolutely stunning. I love, because like we've been getting this image of the silver crystal that looks literally like a crystal. I don't know how else to describe it, but now it looks like a crystal lotus flower. It looks really cool.
Yeah, much nicer.
Yeah. And she's like, what is this I'm feeling? And she starts to hear people chanting and kill them all. And then she's thinking it's hatred and loathing. And then we cut to Queen Metalia. So if you're a little lost, this is Sailor Moon inside of Metalia. So that's why she's hearing all this, because Metalia is like spreading this chaos across the world and mainly at Tokyo.
Yeah, and she's sensing all the sort of hatred and loathing that Queen Metalia is spreading to the people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh God, I got to do another impression. Okay. So Queen Metalia says,
such beautiful dark hearts. Yes, destroy one another. This will be a world of death. The mystical silver crystal is mine. All will bow to my will.
Oh, that's getting harder and harder to do, girl.
Well, you'd have to do it for much longer.
I know. So Sailor Moon is thinking, Queen Metalia, are we inside Metalia?
I'm figuring shit out.
Yeah, go ahead, girl. Because she thought she was dead, so that's fair. She was surrounded by darkness, but she thought she was dead, so that's granted. So then Metalia says,
you're awake, spawn of the Moon Kingdom. You don't die easily, do you? Insolent moon brat.
Which, pause, I fucking love that insult. Insolent moon brat. Stunning. So then Metalia continues with,
but you are in my clutches now, and I will crush you in my grip.
And Sailor Moon says, no, we have to get out of here. And she starts, I'm at a loss for words. It's because I'm doing the Queen Metalia impression. She starts to grab at the silver crystal. And Metalia says,
oh, something's burning inside me. What are you doing?
And the mystical silver crystal starts to glow. And Sailor Moon says, mystical silver crystal, give me strength. And it starts to glow and glow and glow. And then suddenly, there's bright lights. Everything's happening. And then next thing you know, Sailor Moon's on the ground.
Yeah.
And she says, are we out? We were inside the silver crystal all this time? And it just looks like that they're on this rocky plane of Earth, basically. Just random. And of course, she goes to Tuxedo Mask. She reaches for his hand and she's thinking, oh, your hand, it's getting warmer, Mamo? And then he opens his eyes. And he says, Sailor Moon? And he starts to reach up to her face and she's like, Mamo! While she's thinking, it's a miracle. But there's some darkness in Mamoru's eyes, but for once he's not possessed. Yeah. It's because he says, I can't see anything. And Sailor Moon's like, Mamo, no, your eyes. And what pops up behind Sailor Moon? But of course, Queen Metalia, looking devastatingly terrifying in this like shaky, the way that Naoko drew this is like shaky flaky ink blotch. That's the best way I can describe it. It looks crazy.
Devilish.
Very devilish. Sailor Moon turns around and says, Queen Metalia? And she shoves, the silver crystal is still hovering in her hand, and she shoves all this power at Queen Metalia. And Queen Metalia says, such incredible power, so much greater than that lump that was inside me. Give it to me. Give me the mystical silver crystal. And she's growing. So all this energy is getting absorbed once again, and she's growing even more.
How many swords now?
Yeah, how many swords tall is she now? So
I think she's four Zords.
She's got to be 4 Zords. I agree. So Sailor Moon's thinking, why is she getting bigger? I thought the silver crystal could seal her away. Does it need more power? And then, is this a flashback?
I don't know, because I'm thinking, I think it must be a flashback. Or maybe it's just she's picturing
she's just thinking about them. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise she got back from the moon pretty fast.
Right. Okay, so Sailor Moon is thinking about all her friends, and she first thinks about Luna and Venus, and Luna's like, Usagi, and Venus says, Sailor Moon, hang in there. And then she's thinking, Luna, where are you? Where is everyone? And then she's realizing, oh, they're not here. They were always here for me, cheering me on. We fought our way here together. Where are you? Where are you? And I love this little image of her strained face, but above her are the Guardians. Looks really cute.
Yeah.
And then once again, not finishing a sentence, she thinks to herself, don't tell me that she ... But she shoves more energy out from the silver crystal to Queen Metalia. And then Tuxedo Mask says, Sailor Moon. And meanwhile, she's starting to break down. And she's thinking, I can't do it. I can't seal her. I'm just not strong enough. I feel it. Or no, that's Mamoru.
Yeah.
So Mamoru's thinking, I feel it. I feel your pain, Sailor Moon. It's as if I could reach out and touch it. And then he starts to feel a stinging near his chest. And he reaches up. I know, I love this part. He reaches up, and it's one of the gemstones that the 4 generals turned into, if you remember from previous episodes. And he says, or he's thinking, a stone in my breast pocket, and it's falling apart. And then it starts to glow. And we get this image of Kunzite.
Yeah.
And this image of Kunzite comes out, and he says, my prince, we meet at last. And Mamoru / Tuxedo Mask is like, Kunzite, is that you? And we finally see Kunzite's face, looking handsome as ever.
Yeah.
And Kunzite says, my prince, the time has come to eradicate that monster. Queen Metalia is a terrible creature that will consume the energy of every living thing on Earth and convert it to darkness. Once she has drained an object of its energy, she will change it to stone. You see that black mark on the creature's forehead. And we get this cool image of like a stand-in for Queen Metalia, just so he can explain it. Or actually, no, he's pointing at Queen Metalia. I forgot that Queen Metalia is actually there. And he's like, that black mark, that is Queen Metalia's heart. Now that she has grown, so has her heart. This is your chance. If you focus your energy and attack that spot, but he starts to fade away before he can finish. Lots of uninterrupted sentences. You were right, even more so. And Tuxedo Mask is like, Kunzite? And then we get this image of all 4 of the kings looking devilishly handsome in their knights. They've got all their capes from like the old times. It's super cute. And Kunzite says, I'm glad we could see you again, my prince. We pray that this time you will find peace together. And then the stone in his hand breaks.
Yeah.
And he's thinking, Kunzite, Jadeite, Nephrite, Zoisite, you stopped the sword for me? You brought me back to life? Which I'm going to kind of call bullshit on. I don't know if that's exactly what happens. Once again, we saw a lot of blood.
Did, but
but also them bringing him back to life, I'm not so sure, because if you stopped the sword, you wouldn't have to bring him back to life. So that's where there's a little bit of a disconnect for me, but it's fine. So then Tuxedo Mask says, Sailor Moon, Metalia's weakness is on her forehead. Don't cry, Sailor Moon. It's not like you, which I'm also calling bullshit on. She's a known crybaby, but nice try.
Yeah.
He says, cheer up. Have faith in yourself. That's what your friends would want. I will always be by your side, Serenity. And he reaches up and touches her face. Oh, whoa, I'm skipping. Look at me.
Oh.
I'm drunk.
Yeah, I was just suddenly...
I'm only drinking iced coffee. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. My bad. Oh, my bad. He says, if it's all right, or no, it's all right. If I know your friends, they're out there somewhere watching you. So maybe they're not dead yet. Maybe they're not. They're just bleeding out still.
Yeah.
And he says, give this all the strength you have. And if it's not enough, I'll give you some of mine. Your friends can't be here for you, so I'll be here instead. I'll always be by your side, Serenity. And just, my heart's aflutter with the warmth. And she starts to cry as he reaches up to her face now. And she's thinking, or she says, Endymion. And they intertwine their fingers together. So
I
cute.
love this picture.
I know, the picture of them intertwining their fingers. And they just look so cool. And she's thinking, he's always giving me strength. I feel an incredible courage, an unimaginable strength inside me and the mystical silver crystal. I'm going to get this image of the lotus flower silver crystal.
Yeah.
And he's standing behind her, and she outstretches her hands, and in between her hands are the silver crystal, and he outstretches his hands to hover atop her hands. It's very Titanic.
Oh, it is, yeah.
In that way. Yeah, Jack. And she's thinking... She's thinking, it's welling up inside us, getting stronger and stronger, making me more powerful. So then we cut to Queen Metalia, and she says,
oh, so you can command the power of the crystal. An insignificant little girl like you controlling the mystical silver crystal. I will crush you to powder. I will destroy you.
And Sailor Moon says, no, Queen Metalia, I will crush you into a pile of dark dust.
Fucking yes.
Hell fucking yes, Usagi. So as she's saying this, the silver crystal in its lotus form starts to glow super, super bright. And Sailor Moon reveals her moon wand, but instead of staying the moon wand, the what do you call that part? The staff part of it?
Yeah.
The grip part of it? It starts to grow.
Yeah, the handle.
The handle. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. The handle starts to grow until it's as long as Sailor Moon's fucking body, pretty much. And it becomes...
The sword grew as well.
Yeah, just like the sword. And it becomes the moon's staff. And then, because of this incredible flux of power, Mamoru starts to see. He says, I see it. I see the moon. I see its silvery light. So his eyes are coming back to him.
Yeah.
Just as Sailor Moon decrees, I am the guardian of love and justice. I am the pretty sailor-suited soldier. I am Sailor Moon. I am Princess Serenity. And with the power of the moon, I will seal you away. And that's how we end our chapter. I fucking love it.
As well. A full page.
A full page. Yeah, so like when she says, I'm the guardian of love and justice, it's a full page of Sailor Moon like holding up the moon staff with the silver crystal in between them, glowing in its lotus form, and then a whole page of like Usagi's like a headshot with the moon in the background and everything's glowing. And,
yeah.
It just looks fucking cool, man. It just looks so fucking cool. Oh, what a chapter. Okay, so as always, Marcella, what was your favorite part?
So I love that final part with Sailor Moon basically reaching the peak of her powers.
Mm-hmm.
And just the full panel of her, the moon in the background.
So good.
That whole part. Again, I loved Venus in this.
Agreed.
Yeah, because she's such a good leader.
She is.
And just the power of friendship of them all, sort of not hesitating and sacrificing themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
For the princess. And then I also liked briefly the little flashbacks within a flashback with Usagi, the Usagi side coming out of Princess Serenity, and the whole bit of Venus saying, I have too been in love, and then her sort of crushing on Kunzite, and I think they were my standout little bit.
For sure.
What about you?
Yeah, so my number one favorite moment in this chapter is 100% seeing that Usagi personality come out in Princess Serenity. I just think that is so important to note that you don't get that from the anime, really. Like, they kind of separated them in the anime where it's like, this is Princess Serenity's personality and this is Usagi's.
But they're the same person.
Exactly, which is why I think this act is so important and that moment is so important, because it's like that makes them more the same person. It shows that they are the same person and there's no separation, which the anime did not do the best of. So I love that moment. Number one moment, fucking killed it. Number two, I loved getting the flashbacks. You get to feel more of Serenity and Endymion's love, and how it's faded, which is great. We kind of have the same the same favorites, but Venus stepping up, I wish that the anime played to that strength so much, because it's so refreshing, like getting personality and purpose from Minako / Venus. I just love seeing that so much, and I wish that the anime did it justice, but it didn't. And that makes me even more excited to read Codename Sailor V. Like, I'm so excited to get more of Minako.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But and then like this is kind of a small part of the entire act, but the Silver Crystal's lotus form, I just love that. It's just so cool, and like seeing the moon wand turn into the moon staff was really cool.
Yeah.
And the 8-foot sword was awesome.
Yeah.
But just all in all, just a fabulous chapter. Like, it's so good, and I cannot believe we're almost done.
I know.
It's so crazy.
That's so quick. I feel like we did Act 5 and then skipped to Act.
It 100% feels that way. It 100% feels that way. It's fucking crazy. But next time we will be reading the finale of this act. This is the finale, Act 14, which is titled An Ending and a Beginning, La Petite Étrangère, which is, I know, I tried really hard. If anyone's listening to this and speaks French, don't come for me. I tried. I did look it up, and I tried to retain it as much as possible. But it is French for the little foreigner. So Marcella and I know, of course, what that means, but it's a little teasing for what that means for you listeners if you don't know. But as always, you can follow me on the internet at JustinGray22 across Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. That's where you can find me.
And you can find us both on Twitter at Sailor Manga Pod.
And if you are feeling randy one day, and you just like get the urge, you just really want to talk to us because we're such magnetic people, you can email us at sailormangapodcast@gmail.com.
Feeling randy?
Does that mean
randy? Does that mean the same thing in America as it does in the UK?
Oh God, what's it mean in the UK?
It means you're feeling some type of way.
Oh, maybe. Oh God, let me Google it. Did I do something wrong?
No. I just don't want to be getting any
God, someone who is randy is sexually excited and eager to have sex. British, informal. Oh no, that's not what I meant.
Or did you?
Oh God, I got these memes that show sexual connotations with randy. Oh no, I just meant like, damn it. I just meant it. I mean, if it makes you sexually excited to email us, go ahead and email us.
Yeah, just try and keep it PG.
I just meant if you were feeling excited in a non-sexual way. Damn it.
Well, is it because you listened to another hot hole today? So you're.
You know what? That's what did it in.
Yeah,
Re-listening
that
to
episode
another
came
hot
out
hole
today, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the day that we're recording this, it came out. So I hope you guys are enjoying that one. But yes, thank you. God, I fucked myself, didn't I?
Did we actually say the email address as well for this?
Yes, I did. But once again, that's sailormangapodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
But thanks again for listening to this wonderful episode, this randy episode of Sailor Manga. And in the name of the moon,
we'll be back soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
way to end it, Marcella.
Oh, my cheeks are just hurting so much. I'm laughing.
Oh, fuck.
You said, if you're feeling ranty, my face was like, whoa.
I need to read up on British culture, apparently, because I was like, yeah, that's not what I meant. I don't want people to be sexually stimulated by sending us emails. But if you are, send an email.
I know. I could do a bit of light reading.
Just a bit of light smut reading.
Yeah, exactly. Erotic fiction before.
Yeah. 50 Shades of Randy, am I right?
50 Shades. It was like that inappropriate thing that I was going to say earlier in the episode, and then I held back. I wouldn't have bothered if I'd known that you were going to go there. But
I didn't mean to go there.
But there was the bit where she was holding Endymion, and she was saying, every time I'm with him, I get a warm glow. And I was thinking, I know what that warm glow is, love, and it's not...
It's the warm glow from her love and oven. That's what we know.
It is. It's that good download, that good download tickle.
A download tickle.